Let's leave that story now. Let's go straight to Uganda this morning, where Uganda's parliament has granted Kampala Central Member of Parliament Mohamed Nsereko leave to introduce a bill seeking to clamp down on martyrs of cyberbullying and computer misuse by introducing the issue of fines as penalties. This follows a spate of alleged cyberbullying cases in Uganda, with each of the three arms of government registering a case or two in less than a month. Ugandan journalist Kimono Dorcas joins us now live all the way from Kampala. Thank you so much for being here, Kimono. And why is this Member of Parliament, Mohamed Nsereko, introducing a bill to regulate freedom of expression at a time like this? How bad is the issue of cyberbullying in Uganda, by the way?
Oh, thank you, Joe, for this question. When you ask how bad the situation is, maybe we don't have the answer rightly because we don't have the statistics. I mean, we don't have any successful case that has been prosecuted in relation to cyberbullying. Even one that was almost successful, the higher court overturned the ruling. So we don't have the statistics indicating how many cases of cyberbullying have been recorded, have been registered in courts of law and prosecuted and maybe successfully delivered. Even those that are there, they are almost in most cases it's politically oriented, and at the end of the day, either the government loses interest in the cases. For example, there's a case which was in 2014 where a musician had issues with her ex-lover, and the ex-lover shared some of her pornography footage, and she ran to courts of law, but government lost interest. They couldn't back her up, and the courts of law had to dismiss the case, had to just stop prosecuting such a matter. So when you talk about how many or how bad the situation is concerning cyberbullying, maybe in Uganda there's nothing to show how big it is, how small it is, but yeah, it does exist.
All right, now Kimono,
Then when as
okay, please go ahead.
uh, yes, now when you talk about the timeliness, why the Member of Parliament is bringing this bill at this time, as you rightly said, Joe, it is in a wake of spate of a number of cases. We've had a number of cases, each arm of government, judiciary, the cabinet, the parliament, they're all reporting or crying foul concerning cyberbullying. In the recent past, we had the infamous or famous, depending where you're standing, the Kakwenza case. The Kakwenza case turned up to be computer misuse related case. So it according to the framers of this bill, they say that was targeting the person of the president because the matter touched the presidency and his son, the president and his son. So it attacked the cabinet. Then we've had in recent past the judiciary. The judiciary have over and over again issued rulings, issued judgments on some people that go outrightly to critique the role of the judiciary. So we have a mixture of issues. Maybe that's why this member of parliament is coming up to think it is time to have a bill in place or a law in place that will curb such occurrences. Yesterday, part one, there was an issue in parliament where a member of parliament is accused for having demeaned the deputy speaker of parliament. And the person, there is a motion that's going to have the person reprimanded for having demeaned the deputy speaker of parliament, and he used just a Twitter handle. So yes, there is cyberbullying, and maybe that's why they want to bring this regulation. But now the question comes, why bring a bill yet to have other laws in place already? Now, the frame of this very bill, that is Mohamed Nsereko, the member of parliament for Kampala Central, argues that there are laws, yes, but they're strong enough. His move is to tighten, to strengthen these legislations so that maybe cyberbullying can be dealt with once and for all.
All right, now, Kimono, we also understand that Uganda isn't the first African country who is trying to pass such law. I mean, way back even in 2018, where this law was brought up in Uganda, we also understand that African countries like Zambia, like Benin Republic, and even Tanzania also tried to ply the same route. Now, what's the likelihood that this bill will be passed into law 3 years after it was initiated in Parliament?
Yes, you're right. When you talk about 3 years, yes, you're right, because there was an effort. There was a group that came up to advocate for such a bill some time back, yes, and it failed. But this time around, when you ask what the likelihood whether it will be passed, chances are high, because the proposer is the NRM leaning. Much as he's independent in the House, he's NRM leaning, and NRM leaning is the ruling party in government. It has 3/4 of the members of parliament in the House. So if they are to go with the game of numbers, voting in the House, chances are high that he will get the favor that he wants. But also on the outlook, on the face value, government seems not to be supporting it. But when you dig deeper, you realize there must be a hand behind it. Because, as we said earlier, the spate of cyberbullying cases had just come up. And indeed, there are a number of comments on social media and mainstream media where heads of these three arms of government have outrightly come out complain about cyberbullying targeted at their institutions. The president himself has been heard not once or twice complaining about cyber harassment. Then recently we had the Chief Justice himself saying if there is anyone that's going to abuse a judge using social media and they think they're going to be left scot-free, time is up for them. What does that mean? It means they're also waking up to support anything that will help them attack or deal with cyber crime. Now, the latest is the Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, who also decided to use the words of the Chief Justice to say, if the Chief Justice is saying this, they're advocating for this, I think the House should also have a law in place protecting or shielding members of parliament and the institution as a whole from cybercrime. So there is a lot of support, although not on face value, but you can tell it's in the background. There is all the support. And if you have a speaker of parliament saying that, what will happen when this motion finally is brought on floor of parliament? The bill is brought to be debated. Chances are that she will obviously fall for it to go through.
All right, thank you so much, Kimberly Dorcas, for this update. We look forward to hearing more from you.
Oh, thank you for having me.